13-point lead for Iowa as we sit ready for the fourth quarter. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Idaho State and Kentucky. Kentucky, the 4 seed. That's coming up 2 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. That means you get a chance to see the great Ryan Howard, the All-American for Kentucky, 2-time All-American. Kentucky ranked 18th in the country, but just winning 2 of their last 5 games. So it'll be interesting to see Kentucky against the Big Sky champions who have won 6 in a row. Caitlin Clark, a quiet second half so far, Tamika. She had 15 in the first half, just 2 points in that third quarter.
Yeah, and I think that'll be a big target. You know, one of the questions that we asked Coach Bluter was, how did you get Caitlin Clark some rest? And I think part of it is she didn't have to score in the third quarter. When you have other players stepping up, her presence on the court is enough to score, and she must have heard us talking about it and tipped it right in.
So you're talking about fourth quarter is Caitlin Clark time. That's her time to shine a little bit more. She's got the look. She's got the strut. She wants to end this game. It's a 15-point lead now for Iowa. Travel called on CMU, so a turnover for the Chips, their 6th.
And I think if you're Iowa, you know, you're still looking at every single possession mattering. One thing we talked about early on in the game is Sinano and really getting her established down low. She took that turnaround jump shot just in the last possession. But I think that Iowa will be looking to try to get her some more looks.
Hard tumble for Caitlin Clark. She'll head back to the free throw line. And you just get a little taste of her competitiveness. She has stepped on the campus in Iowa City and been a difference maker right from the start. And Lisa Bluter said she knew she would make an enormous impact, but you start thinking of the terms. If you take her away from us, where would they be? And it's just a testament to what she has done for this entire team. Not just all her points, 27 points a game, but leading the team in assists. And when she came out with those 2 fouls, you touched on it, Tamika, things seem to get stuck without her out there. So she has been that key piece as a freshman, a standout already for Iowa.
The question really was, how good is Caitlin Clark? And she said, so good that if you take her off the floor, we are a totally different team, and we did see that.
Clark on the pull-up. Won't drop.
And Micaela Kelly had 3 fouls in the first quarter and really been efficient. And Bustle knocked down a 3 to continue to give Central Michigan some hope on the offensive end. They are a 3-point shooting team, so I think one of the things Coach Bluter said in the huddle, I can imagine, is we cannot underestimate Central Michigan being able to knock down 3s.
Well, I had my eyes on Clark at the top of the key saying she's open, but Iowa had different plans on that play, and they found Sinano inside for 2 more. And now it's thrown into the backcourt, but saved right to Martin. Oh, good hustle play coming back by Davis to take it away.
CMU a little careless with the ball, but ditched the dish out to Kelly.
Got the open look. So Kelly, who picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter, is still at 3 personal fouls. But time running out here on CMU. Sinano will not miss many of those.
Yeah, she got a little bit underneath the basket, and the look was not a good look for her.
Timeout called by CMU. 7:03 to go in the fourth in round 1.
But Caitlin Clark is the answer. I mean, to me, she's the most exciting player in college basketball right now. And I was like, oh, Iowa's on? Let me turn this on. Like, she's exciting to watch.
Well, first of all, hi, Sue, because we know you're watching. Second of all, time for our Capital One rewarding performance. It's what Caitlin Clark's been up to here tonight.
Well, she's been doing a little bit of everything, but scoring is what she does. 21.7 rebounds, 5 assists. The thing that we love the most about watching Caitlin Clark, she makes it look so easy. And she's only a freshman, so she's doing all of this against sophomore, junior, seniors. Makes it look so easy. Dominating, #1 in the NCAA in scoring. We have a lot of years to watch her.
Illegal screen set. So you see the most points per game in Division I history by freshmen, and Caitlin Clark and Melinda Deladon even at 26.7. Well, Tamika, we talked about at the very top of the telecast, you were the freshman of the year. Your freshman year at Tennessee had a phenomenal first season. And I think people look at Caitlin Clark and maybe look at what you did saying, well, yeah, they were great players coming out of high school, but you had to adjust to so much going from high school, beautiful look, and Warnock scores for Iowa as they stretch their lead. It's not that easy to go from what you did in high school to what you did at Tennessee and what Caitlin Clark's done here at Iowa, is it?
No, it's not, but I think Lisa Bluter said it best. She said, you know, we have a culture. There's a way that we play. There's a way that we are that has already been established. So when you step on campus, there's already a culture that pre-exists. I think I had the same thing, but then you also look at the simple fact of they got a lot of underclassmen. So from last season, this season, with the freshmen that they have, she said they don't know any different. So when they step on the court, they just go all out. They play. They have fun. Like, this is the way that they play. And so I think from our standpoint, for myself, really about being able to have the opportunity to have the culture that's been established, and you go out, you play, you do the things that you did in high school, but on a different level.
You know what, one of the keys, though, and I didn't expect this from Lisa Bluter, and I don't think it shows up on any scouting report, she said Caitlin Clark is such a goof. She's the biggest goof we have on the team, the biggest talker, but she's got a big personality, and that helps people be at ease. You know, when you bring in someone who's going to dominate on the stat sheet, well, people want to be successful and be around her and be a part of that good energy. So sometimes those goofballs need to be celebrated. So Caitlin Clark, that's for you.
Well, the goof is ready to come back in the game, and you know, when you have a player like that that demands so much attention, and Coach Bluter said, admittedly, like, you could have players, and tell you what, Iowa, CMU had Iowa throwing the ball all over the place, but this is what happened in the second quarter with Caitlin Clark was out of the game, the same way that the players are playing now. They need her on the floor just to be able to establish the flow for the offense. She set the tone for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
And it forces Iowa to take a timeout so they can get Clark back into the game with 5:45 to go in the fourth.
Well, Central Michigan is known for their three-point shooting, and we came into the game. They came into the game knowing that we had to keep them off the three-point line, force them to shoot more twos than threes, and Iowa has a chance to win. I think right now what you're seeing is with Caitlin Clark off the floor, how they are moving the ball, they don't know who should have the ball. Clark normally has the ball in her hand, so it makes it stable for everybody else to work around her.
They try to trap Clark, who calmly gives it off, and just a couple of passes later, it's a layup for Sinano.
Well, being able to pass off a double team forces the rotation. You get the wide open look, and Molly Davis able to get a look down low, get herself to the free throw line.
Warnock picks up her third personal foul, and Davis will head to the free throw line. She's got 14. Coming up 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, the NCAA Women's Championship first round continues on ESPN2. Florida Gulf Coast and their high-octane offense, 5th in the nation in scoring, will take on Naz, Hillman, and Michigan. All Naz did was go for 50 in a game this year against Ohio State. So if you like offense, we've got you covered here in this Riverwalk region. We welcome those of you joining us here in the Riverwalk region. Opening game here at the Alamo Dome. Eric Freed, Tamika Catchings, Caitlin Clark, the All-American freshman for Iowa, has put on a show. 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. But whenever she's come out of the game for a moment or two, Tamika, Iowa has struggled to stretch out the lead. And as a result, Central Michigan hanging around with plenty of time to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, also as a result of that, Clark is back on the floor and not able to get more time to rest because they gotta, hopefully they get beyond this game, and then you look at the next game that you have to play and it gets tougher and tougher because that's what tournament time is all about.
Iowa's been very good out of the timeouts, getting looks inside. They can't score here as McKenna Warnock, who's had an excellent second half, scoring all 13 of her points in this half. And a foul is called on Iowa off the rebound. So Warnock will check out. And CMU will bring it up. CMU's best player, Micaela Kelly, picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter, still scored 14 points in 8 minutes in the first half. She's at the top of the screen, number 1. They need to get her going here. She's got 21. Loose ball on the ground, and a foul is called on Davis, diving for the loose ball, fighting against Kate Martin.
Well, one of the things you just said at Micaela Kelly, she's got to make herself available to come and get the ball. You know she's a threat. Everybody on the defensive end from the Iowa standpoint has to lock in and focus when Kelly has the ball. The best defense sometimes is keeping the offensive player that threat, keeping them from getting the ball.
Second foul on Davis. Inside of 5 to play. Worked inside Senano. She's had a couple rattle out. Someone who shot 77% from the field in the 4 games of the Big Ten tournament. Davis, CMU, an outstanding 3-point shooting team. Players with unlimited range. Davis can't hit this one. And a foul is called on Iowa. Good work by Jahari Smith to fight for position.
Yeah, I think that foul was on Senano. You could tell if it is, that would be a frustration foul from the bunny that she missed on the other end, on the offensive end, just to some of that frustration level.
Senano 7 of 15 from the field, which would be good for most players, but she isn't most players. She leads the nation in field goal shooting at 68%. Davis tried to make the extra pass, and it was deflected out of play. Iowa contesting that it was last touched by the Chippewas.
Well, Central Michigan trying to figure out a way. They're getting the look. They're just making the long passes. So they're doing the pick and roll, what they've been doing all game long. But the passes that they're throwing are a little bit careless.
Kelly on the drive, gets it for 2. 23 now for Kelly. That's still a point shy of her season average. That's how prolific a scorer she has been. There are 2 20-point scorers on this CMU team, so they can go on a run. Clark, strong drive for 2 more.
Great drive by Clark.
Kelly held on to it, and rolling to the basket was Smith to put it in. And hustling back to take it away for CMU is Molly Davis.
Molly Davis, the hustle player that we have seen today. She wasn't scoring the ball well, but just her presence on the floor, she was making all of the hustle plays early.
That's Caitlin Clark hustling in to keep it alive for Iowa, and a turnover by CMU. Clark, Senano, won't miss this one. Inside of 3 minutes to go here in the 4th. And a timeout called by Heather Osterly. Clark's so good at sharing the ball.
Oh yeah, she is. And when she's in the open floor game right there, you gotta respect her game. You got 2 players that are running at her. it leaves Sanano wide open underneath the basket, which she missed a couple of bunnies, but you give her a point-blank pass like that, she's not going to miss it often.
Ryan Howard, the All-American for the University of Kentucky, getting ready to go, the two-time SEC Player of the Year. Winner of this game will take on the winner of that game.
Well, I know where Coach Gail Gassencourt on the sideline. She's not going to let this team give up, and you know, she was on our bench way back when for the Indiana Fever, so I know she is all up in their ear. Anything is possible. 2 minutes and 55 seconds. That's a lot of time in a game. You see her accolades right there for her career, but she's not going to let this team give up.
Assistant coach for Central Michigan, associate head coach in her first year, assisting Heather Osterly. Yeah, Heather's got quite the group of consiglieres between Gail and Sue Guevara, who she assisted for 9 years and still in touch with. They go dog walking together to talk about basketball and life. So it's a pretty good crew. A lot of wins there to bounce ideas off of. Oh, beautiful spin, but it won't drop down for Kelly. And here's Clark, who will slow things down. Martin. Sedano. 2 more.
Iowa does such a great job, and it starts with Clark. Clark recognizing the double team. She gets the ball, moves the ball up the court, and I mean, you look at it, nobody's dribbling the ball, they're passing the ball. The easiest way to break a press, pass through it, don't dribble through it.
Weeks can't hit the 3, and Iowa's got another rebound. Marshall. And hustling back to get the block for CMU was Davis.
Davis has done pretty much everything for CMU, from score to assist. You look at all the hustle plays. She charges, block shots. I mean, the hustle player.
Clark behind the back, Sedano with the finish. Beautiful dish by Caitlin Clark.
How she even saw Sedano. Look at that, behind the back pass. Great finish.
That's the shout out to Sue Bird right there, right? We just heard from Sue a moment ago on the Instagram chat with Holly Rowe a few days ago, saying that Caitlin Clark is the most exciting player in college basketball right now. That was a Bird-esque dish to get the assist. And Sedano with the finish to help stretch things out for Iowa here in the 4th.
Yeah, she's definitely been watching a little Bird action.
Warnock. Clark working with the Sedano screen. Off balance 3, won't drop. 1:15 to go in the 4th.
And Central Michigan still looking at
Illegal screen set by Smith. So the Iowa basketball with 1:07 to go. And it looks like Heather Osterly will make some substitutions here. Kira Bussell, the senior, will come out of the game. There she is.
Yeah, you always love Kira Bussell. Came in and she played her heart out. I mean, she gave quality minutes, coming out with 8 points, 9 rebounds, so close to a double-double.
Micaela Kelly also checking out Maddie Waters, seniors who are all part of that Sweet 16 team from 3 years ago. Memorable wins over LSU and Ohio State. The sophomore Davis with it. There is Micaela Kelly. Got into the early foul trouble, fought through it, ended up with 23 points.
Yeah, she came in and you could tell she was definitely the difference maker early on. Second half, especially the 4th quarter, not really able to get herself going and get the team.
Alexis Civilian, the senior, into the game for Iowa, knocks down the 3-pointer. In the end, it will be a comfortable victory for Iowa. Central Michigan kept it close for a good chunk as Karazinski knocks down the three. Good chunk of the third quarter, but Caitlin Clark settled things down. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists for Clark. McKenna Warnock had 13 second-half points for Lisa Bluter. She kept things nice and settled for the Hawkeyes. Caitlin Clark's first NCAA tournament game is a victory. 87-72 the final.
Well, I just can't say enough about Clark and the way she came out and really helped this team. She helped her team. She scored or assisted on 38 points out of the 38 out of 87 points for Iowa. But when it came down to it, I think Iowa, their firepower, you know, Warnock was a big part, coming out with 13 points. Martin ended up with 13. Sanano ended up with 23. So they had balanced scoring to have players that came together and were able to pull off this victory in the first round.